in Florida?
No. No.
Did he go up and to that guy that was here at the board meeting last
I
night?
don't know. I was gonna ask him tonight. He knew about it.
Well, I saw that
Well-
gentleman last night. And he said, you know, I wouldn't care that he rode it if he just put a muffler on his motorcycle or whatever the thing is. I don't know.
Well, I did discuss it with Pierce, and he was gonna go over it. He was in Florida yet when I discussed it.
Just like this guy said, he said, you gotta catch him.
Sorry. Doesn't want to connect to the camera in the ceiling right at the moment, so we're gonna do this. This is the camera. Thank you, sir.
We'll tell her it was you that moved everything.
Yes, sir. For sure. There we go.
Yeah,
I see you waving away.
Drew, check while you're there, where's that Bob came?
If what came?
Bob, called there.
No, it was done.
Oh, it was done, he's in?
Yeah, it's done. It's nobody special.
Nobody special. Just
Douglas. I'll call the meeting to order. Have approval of the minutes.
so moved.
Second. Motion made to call the meeting to order or to approve the minutes?
We don't need a motion.
We don't need a motion to approve them.
I didn't think so I'm assuming you were approving the minutes.
Right,
No, I
I
seconded
said
the
I
motion.
move and he said second.
Okay. Motion been made and seconded to approve the minutes as they were sent out. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I move that we,
Opposed?
I move we approve the
Carried.
planning board minutes for October. That's enough.
Okay. Second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the planning board minutes for October. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. We'll have the report for the month.
Nature supervisor for general fund, $1,074.59. Page New York Animal Population Control Program, $74. Page New York State Health Department for marriage licenses, $22.50. Total disbursements, $1,171.09.
People are still getting married. The, I don't want that. Balance in the general fund, the checking account is $477,000, $477,595.29. And the savings account, is $382,629.84. The highway fund checking is, $1,255,377.38. And the savings account is $521,718.08. Go ahead, Russell.
Well, we got your trees planted over the. Got a couple trees, got them planted. We've just been doing some ditching and we've got our crossover pipes all blacktopped in and, Tony's coming, he said a couple weeks, so that'll probably be next week. For some trees, probably told him a couple days worth, maybe 3, to get those problem ones.
Well, if he got a little extra time and you get done what you need to do, or you got him for on the road, or you got him for in the park? On the road? Because if he got some extra time and wants to, he's probably got more that need to come down.
Where are you cutting?
Well,
Where
we
are you gonna
got,
start?
well, we got one up on Spalding, Mrs. Watkins, right at the top of the hill over there, where Randy Parker lives, just past you up there.
Mhm.
That big, huge oak right there.
Yeah.
She wants that down. That's.
Hey.
I put it down there, but I didn't realize it was going on YouTube.
Oh. You didn't realize you
Are you having a meeting?
yes. Yeah,
You probably see just me right at the moment.
you can probably just see Drew at the moment if you can see YouTube. Are you on YouTube?
No.
No. Well, you're still home?
Yep.
Why don't we just leave you on my cell phone on speakerphone? Yeah, I think you can hear everything you need to hear.
Okay.
All right?
Is Doug having problems?
Because Drew's having problems getting it set up, but
Well, the one camera doesn't want to play nicely.
it's one camera or something. But he just got it set up on his laptop. So if you can get in on YouTube, go ahead. But if you want to just stay on the cell phone, I'll just leave it on too, and you can listen. How's that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Well, we just started the meeting. We just had the reports. Which report? What was we doing?
You were talking to Russ about more trees.
Yeah, Russ, we were talking about trees on the road in the park. He's got Tony coming. Tony told him a week or two. So if Tony's got time, we've got some more trees over at the park that'll need attention too. So we'll talk with Tony after he gets here. Check it out then.
I see they got some guardrail work done on the Dry Brook.
Could be. You mean maybe a month or two ago? Yeah.
Guardrail.
Yeah.
Guardrail and guardrail.
Yeah, just above the barn there, by that pipe there. And I don't know if you done some on up or not,
Yeah,
but
we did
they get. I guess they did. I know they were going to.
Yeah, they did come up there by Judge's old house.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, we'll move on. What else you got, Russ?
Well, he was asking where we're gonna go for trees. There's one on Spalding, Hannah Road, there's like 4 or 5, Church Street,
Okay.
There's one on Alder Swamp, a great big one. But, and the other thing was, they don't know if they're coming in to crush gravel or not, because when I called him back after last meeting, he said he was booked, depending on the weather, so.
Well, I would say he's had pretty nice weather.
I know, so hopefully, we'll see. I haven't heard back.
Hey, when is
All the
Gary
paperwork's
with
been
us?
filled out for the lease on the truck.
Just a minute, Bob.
We should hear something back the end of this week, he told me, on that. And the only other thing I got is I had a guy put in his 2-week notice. Of course, Louis knows. Jordan's last day is the 13th, Friday.
The 13th.
13th, yep.
You gotta go drive truck for somebody?
Some Rogers logging.
Uh,
That's all I know. That he's gonna make more money per week. And I said, well, good luck. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Bob saw Carrie yesterday.
Planning board meeting, last Tuesday night.
I guess he's gonna try to do it in another week or so.
The end of this week.
End of this week, he finally got everything he needs or whatever. So that's the last on that, Bob.
Yeah, 2 weeks the hardest to get.
Probably. Yeah.
Self-charged tubing. All you do is take them together and it's all charged each one.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The outside tubing, it looks like a downspout.
Yeah.
That's a little harder to get.
All right. Well, I'm sure he knows what he needs. So.
He had other work to do before he could put this in.
Mhm.
Is that something you want to advertise that again, or I still got applications from last time?
Well, did you and I talked a little bit the other day. Did you mention it to Dave?
Yeah.
And what was his?
He said he would.
So my thoughts are when Russ and I talked the other day was let's just let it hang for a while, as long as he's got Dave to fall back on.
Yeah, right now, people are taking vacation, we're pretty slow right now, it's slow time of year. So.
You know, rather than go out and hire somebody right here at the end of the year, let's just wait till first of the year before we make a decision. Unless somebody comes along that's,
Unless there's somebody you know that you really want.
I don't want to discourage him to get his workforce down or nothing. I don't mean that. I don't.
I had a couple guys already, rumor gets out there, I already had 2 guys stop, but whatever.
But it's just my thoughts.
Somebody, I mean.
If you can handle it, hold out a little bit, because you're gonna get better candidates come through, just for a longer period of time.
I can't hear what you're saying, Doug.
I said for a longer, if you let it go for a couple, if you can afford to let it go for a little bit, a month or 2, people will know about it, and sometimes get better candidates than what you want, not the ones that just wanna run in. But I don't know if you can afford it, I don't know if you can afford it.
If we put the
Depends on how
dinner.
much snow we start getting a lot of snow, I mean.
Today, probably you're okay.
Right, exactly.
What we're talking about, Bob, is the new guy there, that Jordan, what's his last name? Douglas from Nichols.
Oh, okay.
He put in a 2-week notice. The 13th of November is his last day.
Was he here a year?
So
Was he here a year?
we're
8 months, 7 months.
Russ is trying to decide whether he needs to start interviewing or just sit on it for a while or whatever. My thoughts would be to just sit on it for a little bit. And,
Dave is a backup, right?
yeah, he did talk to Dave, and Dave is willing to come in and work whenever he needs him, whatever. So,
Okay. What was the reason?
more money, I guess, another job somewhere else, going over the road. I guess he needs an education. I don't know.
Yeah, Louis, I wanted to talk to you about, we've never charged for putting roofs on.
Charged for putting roofs on.
Somebody that re-roofs.
We never
We never had a permit for that. I think we probably should get into that, look into that. Tom would look at that.
You mean to make people apply? Well, because the code says that there's supposed to be a permit issued for a new roof or replacement.
Yeah, if there's more.
Oh, absolutely. Pardon me?
If there's more than 2 layers of shingles, then you're supposed to have a permit.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons, because you get too much weight up on the roof collapses, then it's the contractor's fault, blah, 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 you get into lawsuits and everything else. But there is supposed to be a permit issued for a re-roof job.
You never had anything, right?
Not specifically,
No.
Not for just,
but you're right, we probably should ask the planning board to look at that, and maybe Doug's sitting here taking notes and doing writing on his tablet, so I'm assuming he's taking this all down. Okay.
Yeah, I think a regular, it's only got 1 layer on. Regular roof probably ought to be $25 on a re-roof. When they got tearing off, probably ought to be 50 or so.
Yeah, if it's gonna be a completely new roof, because a lot of times, you never know what you're gonna get into until you get the old roof off. You may end up new rafters, the whole works, and then if you do, then it's all gotta meet code, it's gotta meet the pitch, it's gotta meet everything. So yes, we probably should be looking at that.
We never had anything in place that ever should be.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Is it gonna include farm buildings or not?
Well, it should, yes, because they're protected also under the fire code, see? Because with the new truss rafters law, all that has to be addressed in the code. So,
They're gonna put a tin roof on the 20 milk house in front of the barn.
Okay. Well, we'll look into that.
yeah.
He said.
But yeah, you're supposed to have a permit to replace a furnace. You're supposed to, absolutely. Anything mechanical, anything structural, anything, you're supposed to have a permit to do it. Mm-hmm. Not that I agree with all of it, but that's the
Like I
law.
say, speaking, did the fire company get one for their little
I
slab?
talked to them today and they laughed at me and I said, well, it won't be so funny when you can't get insurance on your building. And he says, yeah, this was art.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just haven't had time to stop over and get it. And I said, well, I would have thought that you would have gotten your damn permit, Art. You're sitting right next door to us all the time. You know it. Yeah, I know. I have to have one. Ah.
Okay.
And then I said, well, what about your fire budget? I don't have a copy of that either. Well, I don't know. I know they had a budget meeting.
It's, um,
Okay, but I asked you about it yesterday, and at that point, they had not.
he doesn't know.
I know that. But I asked you yesterday, and you said you didn't have seen nothing yet.
Not on the fire budget. I told you last month at the board meeting that they had their meeting on at the same time we had right now.
Yeah, but when I asked you yesterday, you said I've seen nothing in the fire budget. Is what you
You
said.
did not ask me yesterday.
Yes, I did.
Well, then I didn't understand what you were asking.
But it
me.
doesn't matter because I just want to make sure that.
I must not have known what you were asking me. We put it on the budget last month.
Okay, well. Anyway. So yeah, we'll look into that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Where was we?
Public hearing.
Let's have the approval of the reports.
So moved. Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the reports as given. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, now,
You asked me about the building permit. That's what I thought.
I asked you about both of them on my way out, remember? And then I went out and stood out there and then I come
I
back.
just remember the building permit.
But it doesn't matter.
Well, it does.
I'm losing my train of thought here.
Privilege of floor, anybody here?
There's privilege of the floor, nobody's here. We've got a public hearing set for 7:30, I believe. I don't.
Yep.
But let's talk about the dog thing here a minute. You guys all got a copy of this
I sent it to you.
agreement?
Yep.
Or saw it. And Adam had sent it to me. I guess him and Irene had worked on this, correct? And the only problem I had with it, and I don't think it's a problem, it's just I didn't see anywhere on there for a renewal date or an expiration date. And I did talk to Dean about it, and Dean said that, well, they didn't want one on there either because it was just a full-time agreement, and if we agreed to disagree, we disagreed with it.
I thought it said year to year.
It is.
Yeah.
That's what it is, yeah, but no date specific is what I meant, because I was thinking more like a 3-year to a 5-year contract, but, and that's fine, I said, it's not necessarily a problem. Okay? Now, one thing I want to discuss is we need to figure out, because when they go out and pick up a dog and harbor it overnight, and if they find the owner of that dog and they come in the next day and get their dog, I think they charge them $30 for an overnight fee. Now, if they harbor it more than a day, it's the second day, I think it's for like $50. Or maybe it's $30 a day until such time they take it. I tried to get that schedule from,
I have the schedule.
okay,
I printed,
and I think we need to do something very similar. Because it'll stop a lot of these second and third time.
here's the final version that includes the schedule that you're talking about.
Okay.
You can keep this. You can keep
Okay.
this. I printed it in case it's something the board wants to sign.
Okay. I just think we need to adopt this too, and I don't think we have to do anything specific to adopt this as far as legal issues. Do you? I mean,
To
as far
adopt
as public hearings, local laws type thing or nothing like that.
I don't believe so. No, I mean, their schedule of fees just would get billed to the town of Tioga
Yeah,
as if it was the town of Tioga doing it.
Right.
right. And if
Okay,
he goes
then.
out and picks up a dog,
Well, you got to
If he picks up a dog in the town of Tioga and they keep it overnight and there's a $30 charge,
Will
does
be
the,
charged.
does the person have to pay it before he picks the dog up, or do they bill us and we have to collect it?
well, that's what I'd have to discuss with them, or we'd have to figure that out. And the reason is because it's our dog, and we're contracting with them and to do this for us. And we're also giving them the contractual fee in the budget to do that process, to harbor the dog and maintain their kennel, food, whatever they need to do.
I think we ought to go right with their schedule because
Well, I thought they were just billing us for what they charge.
No,
No.
no, they're billing us for,
My thought would be that if they pick up a dog in the town of Tioga and have to keep it overnight, there's a $30 charge, then when whoever comes and picks that dog up, if they find the owner, should pay that fee to the town of Owego, and they would credit us on the
Right,
monthly.
right,
right.
right.
That's the way it should be.
doesn't matter how we do it.
Well, yeah, it will.
But
because-
if, well, we need to pay, we need
That's
a paper
right,
trail.
yeah, that's right.
Exactly, exactly.
But
But I agree that we need to follow their schedule.
Yeah,
And I don't think there's any issues with that at all. We just need the correct paper trail.
I think we definitely, they ought to get the money because if we bill them, who knows if there's, you know,
I mean,
you take them to court
Yeah,
for
there's
it when they
no
don't
sense in
pay.
us chasing down $30.
Well, yeah, when they don't pay, he'll just write them a summons and they'll end up in this court. Whatever their address is. If you
Well,
picked
you
up the
know,
dog in the town of Tioga, it'll be this court.
It's just
But if
not-
they pay it when they pick the dog up, it's a lot less hassle.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with any of that.
And that's right in the agreement.
Yeah.
Page 2, the town of Owego's dog control fee schedule is attached as Exhibit A and shall apply to the terms of this agreement.
So
We got no choice.
It's pretty cut and dry then.
Yeah.
We like that.
Okay, because I
I mean,
didn't
this
see
isn't-
this whole thing.
It's just, I don't know that it's saving the town of Tioga anything, but you're just shifting the town of Owego, the neighboring,
We
to
got
the
somebody-
burden of doing it.
Yeah,
That's right.
we got
We're
somebody
still
to do
paying.
it for us. That's
Yeah, we're
what
sorry.
No,
it
you
is.
just don't have a person here, it's, they're assuming,
Yeah, we're hiring that guy
Yeah.
instead, yeah.
Yeah.
right,
That's right.
That's right.
it's not, right.
But to clear it up with Brenda, they're gonna bill us quarterly,
Right.
and what we're gonna pay them is the budgeted number.
Right.
The salary, the personal services, and the
Contractual.
contractual. We're gonna pay them 4 times a year, 1/4 of it each quarter,
Right,
regardless of whether they pick up 20 dogs or 1 dog or no dogs. So, with all that being said, the enumeration money I wanted to keep out of it. Although they have agreed to do the enumeration if we want them to. And my thoughts are, as I wanted to speak about that, why can't we type up a letter? We send out tax notices, what, another 6 weeks? Why can't we type up a letter and put it in with the tax notices to all taxpayers, addressing the situation of, how can we put some teeth in it so that people might get a little nervous about, it is law for them to have their dogs licensed, and somehow we ought to be able to incorporate some teeth in that so that, well, maybe we should go get our dogs licensed. You know what I mean? Because it's neglect of the law.
Right.
If they don't get their dogs licensed, it ain't because we didn't notify them that there is a law. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Town of Barton did
Yeah.
that 1 year.
Yeah, and I know the town of Barton done that 1 year, and they had a lot of success with it.
They did.
So why, rather than us typing out another 2,500 envelopes and addressing them with, postage and everything, Why can't we just put a little form letter in there that it is your responsibility to, if I can get Adam to type something up that
Notice
shows
all
little
dog
teeth to
owners.
it, you know, that if you have a dog that's meets the requirements that,
Would
it's,
take the form of just a reminder.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
serves to remind all
Yeah,
of you and all other residents that we have a
Dog ordinance.
dog ordinance. And if you have an animal that's not licensed,
And
please
state.
contact the town and
Do your part.
yeah, it's your
And license your
responsibility to
animal.
make sure that dog is
just a
licensed
simple reminder.
and have all the rabies shots and everything that it's required to have.
You may want to mention that if you do lose a dog or the dog is taken under control, right, it will now be housed in the illegal facility or through the town of Weagle. Because you're contracting them to do the work for you now.
I can't hear all you're saying,
But
but
what I'm saying, Louis, is that if you put a letter out and remind them about the dog license, you also should say that if you do lose your dog or
It's picked up a stray.
picked up a stray, contact
We now have a new dog warden.
warden basically, because
well, I want to do a press release, okay? And I want to state all that in the press release, and the WEGO wants the press release because we want it advertised that we're doing a shared service deal here.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna put a little flyer
Right.
about dogs,
Yeah,
might as well just add that to the flyer,
And then,
and then do your press release also.
right, make sure that everybody knows it.
I mean, it could be no more than a strip of paper this big that's
Exactly.
red or
Right.
orange or whatever that's just got written on it.
Right.
This is a reminder that
that's
if
right.
you have an unlicensed dog, you need to contact the town immediately to take the proper steps to do it. If that's what you're thinking about, I don't think it needs to take some grand format and letter and.
No,
No, I don't want to do all
that.
that. I just was looking to see and make sure there's no legal issue with doing it that way.
Oh, including it with the tax statements?
Pardon?
Including it with the tax statements?
Yeah.
Believe? No.
Well,
No.
they have
Okay.
to put things in tax bills.
I mean, you can go as far as put an ad in the paper.
Well, that's
If you wanted
basically
to
what
remind it, to all owners.
that's basically what we want to do. Otherwise, a press release, so that because what we're looking for is credit from the governor to get services, shared services. Not that we want credit, okay, but we don't want him to.
We want them to know we're doing it.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And that was brought up right from the beginning with a WEGO that to do a press release on it.
Yeah.
But okay,
Good idea.
so
I'll make a motion that we enter into the shared service agreement with legal for dog control.
Second.
let's do a roll call vote. You understand what we're talking about, Bob?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna do a roll call vote to enter into the agreement with WEGO on the dog services. So, how do you vote,
Yay.
Bob?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Drew?
Yeah.
Jerry?
Yeah.
All those in favor, say yay.
Yay.
All those opposed, sorry I misspoke. Carried. Okay, that's done. Let's close our regular meeting and open a public hearing
So
on the
moved.
budget.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to close the regular meeting, open a public hearing on the budget, discuss the budget. If anybody's got any issues with it, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay. Now, does anybody, I have anybody have any issues with the budget? Anything they want to discuss? We've discussed it for weeks and off and on, and
did you make any changes other than what we recommended?
No. no, I've made no changes since the last time we met, except the ones that you guys asked to be changed, so. the raised by taxes amount is just exactly 2% or just a hair under 199 or something like that. Or at least that's what it should be. And other than that, everything else is in here. The pilot programs are in on the projected line, not on this budget, but on the projected line that I have to file with the state. And so that's for the 21 budget. So we're still waiting, both the projects that are Halsey Valley and 96 are both scheduled to be up and running by January 1. So if that's the case, then they will owe those pilots as of January 1 or with all that being said, it ends up being a 2% increase in our budget. And that's where I feel we need to leave it. So it's up to you guys to do whatever you want to do with it from here, if anything.
Well, being no public is here, I'll make a motion to close the public hearing and go back to regular meeting. Second.
Motion been made and seconded to close the public hearing, go back to a regular meeting. Roll call vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay. Now we're back to a regular meeting, so I think it's time to move forward with this as an adopted budget for 2021.
So moved.
Or make any movements on it that you would wish to do.
Hey,
I move we adopt it.
what was the raise that we ended up, did we give them a percentage or?
Well, you didn't work on the salary schedules yet. I mean, you did. You give them what, 2%?
Yeah.
Yeah,
2%.
Yeah, that's what you decided.
Well,
The personal services in here was all in at 2%, so, yeah.
I'll second Drew's motion.
Okay, motion made and seconded to adopt the budget as presented for a final budget. That was your motion, correct?
It was indeed.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Carried. Okay,
You wanna
we're done with that.
update us on does everybody know about the sales tax that you got? We talked there on the phone last week or sometime. You said.
Well, yeah, she called me and told me that, the sales tax was at about, what did I tell you, 10% or 11, 12%, something like that.
The check that we got in October, balanced what we had budgeted for this year.
Yeah, put us about, I'm almost thinking it was 7 or 8% over what we had budgeted for that time frame for the year. Okay,
Oh, for that
so
time frame.
from that point forward would be a profit on the sales tax over what we budgeted. But there again, keep that in mind that that's also what I've used every year for our fund balance.
Yeah, right.
So,
But still, at least
we
you're gonna
still,
get it
we should
before.
be in,
We still got 2 months to.
well, we got 3 months
3
actually, because we haven't got October
No,
yet,
that was September.
and we don't have November, December.
Right.
So, so we should be in good shape for this year. So that's where we're at with that. We lost 20% on the revenue sharing for the state, which amounted to from 45 that was budgeted, went back to like 38, I think the number was. But the sales tax should buffer that and be okay with it. So,
Well, and the raise we put in.
Are we-
8% raise.
Are we on timeline still with the health insurance transition?
What's the state doing with the
Well-
chip money?
what's that, Bob?
What's the state gonna do with chip money?
Chips.
What's
That
the
was
slip?
what her
Chips
house
fund.
is next year, has it?
I don't know. I don't know. It's way too early to
Yeah, way too early.
to forecast that. Who knows? I heard rumor that Como won't even be there in January. He's going on to bigger and better things with Biden. So
Good.
we'll see how that works out. Don't know if that's true or not, but I did hear that. So anyway,
That's the only way we can get them out of New York. That's the only way we can get them out of New York.
yeah,
Send them to Washington.
yeah.
Milwaukee.
So
Everybody stuck with him.
yep. I had something on my mind. Now I lost it. Whatever it was.
The health insurance.
Oh, the health insurance. Yes, we're all set with that, right, Brenda?
I believe so,
We-
yes.
We got to pay 1 month to our current
For December.
for December, and then our renewal date with Tompkins will be January 1, right? It's not a renewal date; it's a new policy date, start time. And I believe we're all set with all that. So, I hope so.
Me too.
So we should have hopefully a smooth transition there. Old business, in light of the fact that we ratified this agreement with the town of Owego, we did request for Phyllis to resign. And Brenda, I guess you got this letter to her and she signed it and got it back, correct?
Yeah, Tiffany did, yeah.
Yeah. So,
It's not that letter.
no, it's here. I was reading this, trying to look ahead here, but so we do have a signed letter of resignation from Phyllis, and I think, how does the board want to acknowledge that other than just the receipt of it? Do you want to offer her anything for whatever she's done for us for the years?
I just put a thank you note in it
For
years of service in the position,
okay,
I would think.
okay. Maybe we authorize Brenda to get her a card. She's probably already got one, and send her a card and thank you for her years of service and wish her the best of luck.
Enjoy
Okay.
your retirement.
There you go.
Yeah.
And enjoy her retirement. That's right. She can now quit chasing the dogs.
She's already done that.
Motion to that effect, or just do it?
Just do it.
Okay.
do it. We don't-
Just do it. Okay, you can keep that letter in your file. That's the letter. To the board, I wish to first say what a pleasure it's been to work with each and every one of you over the, pardon me. This is a letter from Brenda. Did you all get one of these or
No,
just?
they didn't.
Says to the town of Tioga supervisor and town board, I want to first say what a pleasure it has been to work with each and every one of you over the last 14 years as town clerk here at the town of Tioga. But I feel it's time to retire. Effective December 31, 2020, there are some things that I will not miss. Can you name them?
I was nice, I named the one.
Evening.
About being town clerk, getting up at 6 a.m. But there are many things that I will miss, especially the people. Sincerely, Brenda Mittendorf. So, with that being said, we need to acknowledge and accept this letter of resignation as of December 31st. We also need to decide officially how you want to fill the seat till the next general election. And my suggestion would be Tiffany, because she's all trained and certified and good to go. So,
Well, I make a motion, we accept Brenda's resignation and we appoint first of the year Tiffany to take the work from Brenda.
okay, Everybody hear that?
I'll say that.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to accept the letter of resignation effective December 31, 2020, and also to appoint Tiffany as the
Interim
clerk to fill that seat till the next general election, as I believe how the law would read. All those in favor say aye. I guess I better do a roll call vote.
Yeah,
Aye, okay. Opposed? Carried. Okay, you can file that one.
Hey, Louis,
Yes,
I just want to thank Brenda for her years of work. She's done a great job.
Thanks,
Okay.
Bob.
You just made her cry, Bob.
Her mascara is running.
What else we got? This is all the agreement. I guess that's,
do we have to do the pilot tonight, Doug?
yeah, do we have to address that pilot with the new project on Glen Mary?
We will.
Yeah.
She's willing to help us out,
Okay,
and, you know, the recommendation is to go with the 3,500 per kilowatt, or megawatt, like we have with all the other projects. And, you know, at it's just easy math, 7 to 350, to $3,500 a megawatt. It's, you know, 7 megawatts, and to use the same split ratio that you use for the schools and the town and county that you have for the others. So it turns out the town's about 30.3% of that number. So, and then it raises 1.5% per year is what the other projects had. So 3,500 times 7, 24.5 times 2303, which would give you about 7,400, a little over 7,400 a month, or a year. And that percentage would go up 1.5% per year.
7,400, it'll be our share for
The first year.
The town shares first year, and then goes up 1.5% per year. 15 years. There was some talk that number can be pushed over time. That the solar companies they seem to be a little bit more, you can push the number a little bit. So if we were to get another project, maybe in the spring or in 2021, you may want to think about changing that number and raising it
just
slightly.
sign that one, Brenda.
You could grandfather the old ones, but the new ones would be, you know, maybe a little bit more expensive.
Okay.
You know, use it as an inflationary number or something of that nature. Go from there. That'd be my suggestion.
Yeah, I agree with you. And the school and the county signed up, agreed with it?
No, they'll break the paperwork up based on that number, that 3,500, and they'll help us write the paperwork up and then get it going around. It'll take a few months before everyone's, they'll help us do it, so. And then hopefully everyone agrees. We'll see where it goes.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's more than what it was worth.
Okay. You probably didn't hear none of that, Bob, but it was just discussion on the pilot with that Goodrich solar farm down here.
The Delaware River.
Yes.
So, Doug's been dealing with that, with them.
And they've been issued a permit to go ahead, haven't they, Doug?
We haven't issued a permit yet. They're asking at the moment, what's the next steps? And I sent her a letter
So
saying,
the school and the county are okay?
No, that hasn't been presented to them yet.
They're putting paperwork together.
The paperwork's being drawn up and put together now. We're the lead agent, so I guess, but they're gonna do the paperwork on it, correct? At least that's what she told me.
Yep.
So, just a waiting game, that's all. But of course, Cindy Goodrich would like it to happen last week or last month.
Or 2 or 3 months ago.
Yeah,
They don't, I requested that the CMs, we have a meeting, they have chosen the CMs and have final prints. So we could have a review of when everything needs to be adjusted. Because the planning board had added, that marking and surveying be completed prior to moving forward and grubbing. So that there's no issues with the lines. And so those hard stop inspections need to be put into the paperwork, and that way we all are on agreement. So to do that, you use the construction manager, the CM, and who is gonna be the CM and who's responsible. I don't think they're that far. That's what I think the problem is. The problem is they haven't chose all that information yet. So I told them, please get back with me and find out when we can have these meetings so that when we issue the permit, we'll issue the inspection plan too,
okay.
which is what we should be doing,
Right.
right? And that way they have to come up with a plan. Because they should have a CM on board by now, even though he's a virtual CM, right? That company will be the company that's bringing that project forward right now.
Okay, thank you. There's been a little bit of a project going on down in Smithboro too. You know where the old gas station was down there, Bob? The old Texaco station down there. And where the old Agway rail siding used to be down in there and all that. Apparently, McCluskey bought that and been clearing all that off. And Doug stopped down there to see him and asked him what they were doing, and I'm not quite sure the answer they gave him, except that they had not applied for any permits or anything. And so, still not quite sure what they're going to do because they didn't really give you a detailed explanation of what they're going to do, did they?
No, but what they're going to do is they're going to come forward as a site plan to the planning board so that we can get this all straightened out.
Yeah. So anyway, he notified them as to how they were a little bit ahead of themselves, and they needed to do it.
Taxes been paid on that land?
I'm assuming that they must have paid him up to get the title to it.
Yeah, right.
So, but what they're going to do with it, who knows? Except they told Doug they wanted to park tractor trailers down there. Well, maybe not. I don't know. But they do need a site plan to go ahead because there's more than an acre disturbed there.
Yeah.
So anyway, he set them straight and made them kind of stop work until they get straightened out with a plan of what they're going to do. So anyway, that's
I
where
was
we're
a
at
bit
with
of
that.
surprise last weekend when I drove through there, and I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
where did all that go?
Yeah.
So, okay.
Hey, I didn't know Smith had a place in the Wiggle, and they got one in Bethel too.
Who?
No, McCluskey.
One's on his area for the highway there.
On the Halsey Valley Road?
No, they got a place down in old Agway Feedmill.
Smith.
Smith, the one that did the road there, the changes in the road.
You mean the Halsey Valley Road?
Yeah.
Yeah, but what brought them into this? We were talking about McCluskey.
Yeah. I thought maybe they'd have to get an engineer or something to do some work on the plans for it, the drawings.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure what they're gonna do, if they're gonna build any buildings there, or, I'm not sure what their plan is until they give us some kind of a plan.
Yeah.
So, if
I'm
they're,
just wondering if that, the old Amway thing, what is that, classified as still commercial?
well, maybe if you, we don't have no zoning, so I don't know how it was classified as commercial, you know what I mean?
Well, maybe she's got a tax that.
Well, I don't even know who owned that now. The last I knew, it was owned by Agway, I thought, but
He owns everything now.
yeah, he owns it all now.
He owns it
McCluskey
now.
does, so
McCluskey owns it.
I mean, Norfolk and Southern's got something to do with it.
I couldn't tell you that either. Don't know, but
Denise would know. Where the taxes are going to.
yeah, well, we'll let them explain it to us first when they do their site plan, and we'll follow through with it and see who owns what there. So anyway, okay. Okay,
I'll make a motion we pay the general fund bills.
Actually, I got one more thing for new business
Go.
before that note that Elaine sent.
yes,
That grant is actually about visioning for potential projects in the FEMA green space. So if we're interested at all we'd have to do is say so tonight, and then ED&P will do some work. But like the island in the middle of the Susquehanna,
yeah,
the nature. So that's the Nature Conservancy is putting up some funding for community visioning for potential projects in FEMA green space, and flood claimed lands, and yeah, ED&P will do the work to help with the application. If they want to move forward, they'll set up community meetings to try and get ideas on things that we can do with the green space that FEMA will allow. That may be a benefit to the community and, our immediate community and or the larger community, because they could be educational opportunities, they could be recreational
You're talking
opportunities.
about all the bioproperties.
Correct.
What about something that's not in the bylaw?
okay.
Not included in this.
Well, again, you and I talked about that. If
You said something about the islands, they weren't in the buyout project.
Well, apparently they think they are, because they were specifically mentioned.
But there was never anything on the island.
I understand.
They never bought my islands from me, or did anything on my island.
Yeah.
I got the deed on them.
Okay. So if we're interested, they'll submit an application and, see if they want to do some community research to see if there is a potential project we might be interested in doing.
so before we could proceed, we'd probably have to have a project.
Well, no, this
Layout.
is about discovering a project. This would be to set up community meetings to get the people to say, hey, yeah, well, how about if we did this? It's completely exploratory. Huh? Yeah, like to say, it's community visioning,
So, like Bob's saying, so if we decided we wanted to dredge out the mouth of the Pike Creek going into the river, could that be a part of this deal or a project?
Maybe.
Make a boat launch down in there, but you still.
There you go.
But when you do all that, you still got the zoning issue involved, because you got the railroad tracks to deal with. You got to get over them railroad tracks or around them or under them.
Well, and that's what the Nature Conservancy is saying, that they'll handle all those logistics.
So do you have to have any seed money?
Nope.
Because I've also filed for a grant to pursue that dike wall. I've told you about that just a few weeks ago.
But yeah, if you turn it into like a boat launch, canoe, kayak launch type thing, yeah, they might be able to slide that all together.
Well, then if we were going to address that or further that down the road, we'd still have to go back and look at the one at Bridge Street because it's the only access we have to the river that's on town property. Anything else would have to acquire easements and get over the railroad and blah, blah,
But
blah.
that's the kind of stuff that they would address.
Maybe.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they're signing up to do the heavy lifting and dealing with the logistics of finding out what FEMA will allow, what permits they'd have to get, easements they gotta get.
Doesn't sound like we got anything.
Doesn't sound like we gotta do much other than say, yeah, our community might be interested.
But they're gonna go exploratory, then they're gonna go through the process of doing all the work.
Of making some proposals to, here you go, now here's some shovel-ready projects that you could propose. So maybe they know about another round of funding that's coming, that they're preparing for.
Because to me, proposal is one thing, execution of that proposal is a completely different story sometimes.
Yep. Yeah, no, this is the research to see if there is even a community-supported project that would be viable.
Bible project.
Yeah.
So this is just the research side of it.
Yep.
So the answer is.
Well, if you guys want to pursue it, and see if there's anything there that we could
At
do,
this point, I don't see any reason not to.
okay?
Okay. Yeah, with
Maybe
your permission.
Joe would move forward with that on the county level and see if they'd support us and get some.
Formal motion to, that we
Okay,
agree with that.
Sure.
that our county legislator can't come down and talk to us about stuff like that.
I haven't seen a county legislator at one of these meetings in, 3 years?
At
Not
least
more than that.
Yeah.
Whatever. And one of our county legislatures, I have never seen it at a
No.
town meeting. Never.
I'll make a motion that we
Christmas Eve.
What's that?
I'll make a motion we give our approval to
Move forward on it.
Okay.
move forward on exploratory
Motion-
territory.
Motion made and seconded to move forward, give Drew permission to look into the grant money and move forward with an exploratory project of
For the community.
expanding on the river boat launch, or however you want to word it.
Trending on,
So-
looking into whatever we can come up
There you go.
Any FEMA purchased items or just in general?
Yeah, it's FEMA green space.
with.
So it's for FEMA green space only?
Yeah, that's what, I would want to reread it before I, signed my life away on that, but yeah, I'm 98% sure that it's FEMA green space only.
So then that boat
Yeah, I
launch
read
won't
it
work.
too. What's that?
The boat launch won't work then,
Right,
will it?
right.
Well,
I mean, what's the FEMA green space is what's just over here by Howsey Valley?
I don't know.
Howsey
Over where?
Valley- Howsey Valley Road and any of the other little properties, right?
Right,
We purchased up. That's basically it, right?
right.
Maybe we can get them to write a grant to do a new bridge from the end of Halsey Valley Road to Lounsbury.
Ooh.
Tie us into the rest of the world.
We proposed that back, how many years when we were working with the
A lot of years.
programs?
A lot of years ago. Yep. Who knows? Might happen someday. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
So you're gonna take note.
I'll make a motion to pay the general fund bills of $16,272.86.
Second.
Motion made to pay the general fund bills in the amount of $16,272.86. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I move we pay
Carried.
highway fund bills in an amount of $30,397.72.
Second.
Motion made to pay the highway fund bills for $30,397.72. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay. Anybody else have any other business they want to talk about, or?
Do you know, did Harmon paid for.
It's in this
The bill is
abstract.
in here tonight.
It's in
I
this
did talk to
abstract.
Armin about it.
I just glanced through it quickly and I haven't seen it.
No,
I
it's
know
in
Armin-
the, it's in
It's
the
not in the
general.
highway fund.
It's in the general.
It would be in the general
Yeah, well,
fund.
I got the general,
Yeah, I saw it. It's here.
yeah. I just glanced through it, Ransom Park.
Yeah, it's, there it is, number 375.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a bill in there too for $75 that, Lindy bought a trailer load of stuff,
Compost.
Alpaca compost.
alpaca poop,
Yep.
what it is.
That's what it is.
And Jerry brought his tractor down and they, composted all the beds over there in the garden, so it cost her $75 and she asked me if it was any way she could get reimbursed for the poop. I said, I believe so. I think it's a good
official
thing.
classification
So,
would be
anyway.
fertilizer, believe.
That's
Are we
that's
on
what it
YouTube?
is.
Yep.
So,
And then they top dressed them all with leaves too, because
yeah,
she asked if the big pile of leaves behind the church was the tree. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure it is. That's where Jeff dumps it every year.
yeah,
Can I take them, please?
yeah. So, anyway, anybody else got any other business?
Are you gonna sign that agreement tonight?
I
Or-
did.
Oh, you did sign?
I did
Okay,
sign one and gave it to her, but
Okay.
I'm thinking we probably need like two signed, don't we? Because they need to sign one and we'll need to sign one.
What I thought is they would send the one they signed over here and we'd send the one we signed over there. And then they'd all be signed.
yeah,
However you want to do it. Al.
alright, I'll talk to Jill tomorrow.
Whatever you want to do.
I
We're
give
just-
her the copy of the one I signed.
Okay, that's fine, and, we'll attach the minutes, tonight's minutes.
Yeah.
As an exhibit, so, no problem, good,
Okay,
that's it.
okay.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Jill's just so easy.
So we don't know if anything got done.
It's the same.
Complaint.
When I called Irene and Jill, she was like,
I do not. I haven't seen Jerry at
Oh,
all.
yeah.
Bob, we come in
I know he knows about it,
voice.
so, I will talk to him.
Jer-
She's very-
He was gonna be here tonight.
Oh, yeah.
What was in the
But
envelope?
you
You
sharpened
got
it a
one,
bit.
you got that one.
She is.
Jehovah Witnesses.
This,
Yes.
really?
Yep. Put it in the garbage for a bit.
Okay. It really is,
That
huh?
really is. Yep.
My goodness.